Most controversial moments in motorsport. There are plenty of reasons why motorsport is so exciting to watch. From high-speed drama to acts of incredible bravery and skill, motorsport really has it all, including its fair share of controversy. Let's take a look at some of the most controversial moments in motorsport racing history. Abu Dhabi, 2021. There's no way we could do this video and not mention what happened in the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. If you somehow don't know what happened, let me explain. For the entirety of the 2021 season, reigning champion Lewis Hamilton and new challenger Max Verstappen were locked in a heated title battle. The battle included crashes between the two tightly fought contests, and yet they were both tied on points heading into the final race of the season in Abu Dhabi. Throughout the weekend, Hamilton in his Mercedes held the pace advantage. For the majority of the race, he was by far the faster car and looked like cruising to a record-breaking 8th world title. In the final stages of the race, Williams driver Nicholas Latifi crashed into the wall in the final sector. This brought out the safety car, which could have erased Hamilton's advantage over Verstappen. However, there were multiple lapped cars between the two, and it looked like there were not going to be enough laps for those lapped cars to overtake the safety car. In the rulebook, the race director must let every lap car overtake the safety car, but that's not what Michael Masi did. Instead, he only allowed the cars in between Verstappen and Hamilton to overtake the safety car. At this point, Max was on much fresher tyres, and with one lap remaining of the race, he was able to pull off the championship-winning overtake when the safety car pulled in. It was a shocking moment, as everybody watching thought that there was no way Lewis would be denied the title. The appeals went on for months after Lewis was stripped of his title through no fault of his own. Some fans even believed that F1 had manipulated the race to give the younger Verstappen the race win after a hectic season. It is one of the biggest controversies in Formula One history, and the fallout lasted months after the race. Even today, fans still can't believe what happened, because an F1 championship being decided by the bending of rules is insane. Ross Chastain's wall-aided finish. It's not just Formula One where there is controversy in motorsport. Just a couple of years ago, NASCAR fans went crazy after Ross Chastain's creative finish to the race in Martinsville. On the final lap of the NASCAR race in Martinsville Speedway 2022, Chastain was tailing Denny Hamlin by 2 points in the standings. This meant he would not qualify for the NASCAR championship. Chastain needed a miracle heading into the final lap, as he was sat in 10th position. With that much going against him, it looked impossible for him to qualify for the championship. There were too many cars between him and a qualification, so it looked like the end of Chastain's season. That was until he pulled off one of the greatest moves we've ever seen on a racetrack. Chastain put his Chevrolet into 5th gear, took his hands off the steering wheel, and let the wall guide him around the track. Despite the massive amount of damage the move did to the car, it worked out pretty well for him. The maneuver worked incredibly well, as Chastain was able to move up enough places to finish 5th and qualify for the NASCAR championship. However, his impressive move still drew lots of controversy. After the race, fellow drivers questioned the safety of the move, with Kyle Larson saying it was not a good look for the sport. Chastain's bold move contributed to the fastest lap in Martinsville NASCAR history. While it was certainly not the most dangerous thing he could have done, it still became one of the most controversial moments in NASCAR history. Sepang incident. While there have been plenty of controversial moments in MotoGP history, the heated rivalry between Valentino Rossi and Marc Marquez was one of the most talked about moments in the sport's history. These two absolutely hated each other as they battled for wins and championships. The feud between the two always had the potential to turn sour, which it did on multiple different occasions. They duelled on track at the Malaysian Grand Prix, coming into the race with some bad blood thanks to accusations from Rossi that Marquez was trying to help George Lorenzo win the title and stop Rossi from winning. After the Spaniard went off the track, Rossi took the position and the pair began to fight for position. Having battled for multiple laps, both drivers began to become frustrated. Heading into turn 13, Rossi had the inside line and appeared to push Marquez further outside of the line of the corner. As the two came close to making contact, Rossi appeared to move his bike towards the Spaniard, which caused the pair to collide. Marquez had to retire from the race after the incident, as Rossi continued and ended up finishing third. The incident was reviewed after the race, with some fans believing that Rossi had intentionally kicked his rival's bike, causing him to crash. That's what MotoGP thought as well, as they handed Rossi a grid place penalty for the final race of the season that caused him to miss out on another World Championship. The moment still has fans talking about it today and whether the crash was on purpose. Tensions got so high in the rivalry after the moments that both riders had to have increased security at each other's home race for the next few seasons. When a single incident can cause so much chaos and talk, it has to be in this video. Schumacher crashes into Hill. Michael Schumacher may now be regarded as one of the best Formula One drivers of all time. But his early career was filled with controversy. His first season of title contention was in 1994, when Schumacher battled with Damon Hill for the entire season for the title. Heading into the final race of the season, there was just 1 point separating the two of them. Schumacher held the lead of the race, while Hill was not far behind him. But the Williams of Hill was catching Schumacher, and catching him quickly. On lap 36, Hill was putting pressure on Schumacher, and the German was certainly feeling it, going off the track and grazing the wall. Hill took advantage of this rare mistake by Schumacher as he went for the overtake just a couple of corners later. This could have been the moment when the Brit made his championship-winning overtake. But as Hill went down the inside, Schumacher turned in and the two cars collided. Schumacher retired from the race immediately, and Hill's car could only continue for another lap before he also had to retire from the race. With neither driver scoring, Michael won the championship in very controversial settings. While many people blamed Schumacher for the crash, the stewards deemed it a race incident and took no action against Schumacher. And so he was able to become Germany's first Formula One world champion. Some big F1 personalities have said that they believed Schumacher did not cause the crash, like former F1 commentator Murray Walker. But fans still felt that Michael was guilty of foul play. And so, his first world championship certainly had an asterisk attached to it. But what do you think is the biggest controversy in motorsport history? Put your thoughts in the comments down below. While you're down there, hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.